In our last video, we looked at trendline construction examples, and in particular, we looked at the construction of accelerated and deaccelerated trend lines, and we looked at a graphical example of that. Now, in today's video, we're going to look at examples of accelerated and deaccelerated trend lines, some actual chart examples. In our first slide here, we have prices pushed down, created a trough. We have a swing in here as well. Prices pushed up. So we have a change of trend at this point. So here's our price anchor, our anchor to the trend as we've spoken about previously. The price is pushed up, created a peak, created a higher trough, pushed up, broken through the peak. So at this point the uptrend has been established. So at this point in time, we can now draw our new tentative trend line by anchoring it on this trough and the higher trough through here. Let's continue with this example. So we have prices pushed up, created the peak here. Now prices pushed down, created a higher trough, pushed through here. We've also got a higher peak here. So at this point here, prices pushed through the higher peak at this point, continuing the trend. So we're now able to, because price has broken the previous peak here, here's our peak, here's our trough, we're now able to draw our new accelerated tentative trend line, anchoring it at the higher trough here, and this new higher trough here. So we've got 2 points here, so the accelerated trend line can now be placed. Continuing the same example, we have price, here's our existing tentative trend line, we have our accelerated trend line. We can see prices pushed up, continue to push up, created the higher peak. Prices then pushed down, the shorter term downtrend. Our anchor, however, is right back here. So we can see there's no actual change of trend as such. We have created a trough in here. So price is now pushed up, created a higher peak here, higher trough here, but the important area is once this higher peak has been broken here, so price has broken the previous peak at this point here. So now we can place our new deaccelerated tentative trend line. So anchoring it back at the trough here, and at the higher trough here, we can now place our deaccelerated trend line. But only when price has broken the previous peak here, continuing the trend. Until it's broken this point here, we can't draw the deaccelerated trend line. Now, some of you that are observant may have also noticed we have a trough here, higher trough here, price has broken through the peak here. So in fact, from this point here, regardless of the accelerated, deaccelerated trend line, we can also draw a new accelerated trend line. So at this point in time, we have the deaccelerated trend line, price has broken through the peak here, and we have a new accelerated trend line, price has broken through the peak. So these are the two valid trend lines now. When I say valid, these are the most current trend lines that we should be acknowledging. We can see these older ones here. Price has cut through these, hasn't respected these, so we could almost disregard these now and work off these two. Okay, now as this is the end of module, the current module, we'll just do a quick summary. So in this module we looked at how trends end, and we looked at the concept of when price goes into a ranging motion. We also looked at when trends end. We looked at where and how to determine price acceptance when it broke through anchors to determine reversal of price. We also looked at construction of trend lines, so the basic trend line. We looked at valid trend lines, valid tentative trend lines, and valid trend lines. We also looked at accelerated and deaccelerated trend lines, and we looked at not only graphical examples, but we also looked at chart examples of these trend lines in action. So thanks again for watching. I look forward to seeing you now in the next module.